Just remembered, because I haven't filmed in a while, I'm supposed to look there. I feel like a lion. I don't even know why I'm crying. So one, I'm using this handy dandy microphone today. Let's see if it works, because I've got the window open and a fan on. Because two, it's fucking hot out here and it's only like 8:30 in the morning. And I just remembered, because I haven't filmed in a while, I'm supposed to look there. So first off, just to get this out of the way, I am probably going to be flipping, fluffing, and playing with my hair a lot until I eventually put it up, because for one, I never wear my hair down. Two, it's hot. And three, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this curl I got going on. I don't know, I'm not used to it. I feel like a lion. So anyway, I wanted to make a video about the truth behind competing. When I started competing is when I really started to learn about nutrition, specifically macros, how I started to learn more in-depth meanings of supersets and cardio acceleration and active rest periods and going to failure and drop sets, and just really increased my knowledge and how to shape the body and fight through your genetics, you know. And the biggest thing that I learned when I started competing is how much I can actually push myself. And I think a lot of people learn this, because there's a lot of times you have to go to the gym when you don't want to, you know. I've cried on the treadmill. I have cried doing squats, not because they were hard, but because my hormones were going crazy, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm crying. I've only done 4. Luckily, I was working out in the gym by myself. Okay. Number one, when you decide to do a competition, you have to make sure that you find a coach that you can trust. And the reason this is number one is because your coach during your prep period is going to be your best friend, is going to be your parent, is going to be your support system, is going to be your personal trainer, your nutritionist, and really just your everything. Like, this needs to be a person that you are 100% comfortable with, because they're going to see you in a bikini a lot. One time I had to send my coach a progress photo right after I got my tan, and I was naked. And I had like a little, I was like, don't mind my nakedness, but this is what my quads look like. So that's number one. You got to find someone that you trust, and not just trusting with like looking at your body, but somebody that you can trust on the level of they are going to be able to help you transform your body. So when I looked for a coach, I tried to find somebody that was, one, local to me. That was really, really important. I did not want an online coach, because I felt like I needed someone to actually see what I looked like in person in order to really dial in my physique. That's not to say that online coaches can't do that, but this was my first competition, and I wanted to make it perfect. I wanted to make it worthwhile, you know, so I found somebody that was local. I also really wanted to find a female who had a similar body type to me. Now, this might not be easy, especially if you are trying to find a coach that's a little bit more pro status, because usually the pros, and this is just a totally general statement, but usually the pros have very blessed genetics. Let's just skip this part. I got really lucky to find somebody who has a very similar shape. She was like a mesomorph, endomorph type shape, which is very similar to me. She puts on muscle mass easily, but also puts on body fat easily. That is like the blessing and curse of being this body type. But the reason I wanted that is because I felt like she could really identify with the struggles that I would be having through prep. Number 1, find a coach you can trust. Number 2, find a coach that's local. Number 3, find a coach that has a similar makeup. When did I start numbering these? That was a bad idea. And you have to pick your show. So the show that I chose just happened to be the next show that was happening in my area, and lucky for me, it was 16 weeks out. So I think that that is the perfect amount of time for somebody that had to lose the weight that I needed to lose. I started prep at 151, stage weight was 129. So 16 weeks of working my ass off. I didn't die. I think by the time show day came around, I was still taking in about 1,200 calories at 2 hours of cardio a day. So it was relatively challenging, but not super extreme. I didn't have to resort to, just spending all day at the gym and eating nothing. I got there on that, and I was pumped the whole time. Like, even the last 3 days of peak week, I wanted to go to the gym. My coach was like, no, you need to let your body relax. We're trying to dry you out. So anyway, my first prep was fantastic, and it was exciting every morning to wake up because I felt like I was opening a present. Like, what is my body going to look like today? Every day it was changing, but it didn't do that at first. So I recently reflected on my first round of progress pictures for my prep, and the photos, for one, the way I was taking them, what I was wearing, and how I was taking them. Did I already say that? Oh, I'm so out of it. I'm gonna have this coffee here in a minute. But anyway, the progress photos didn't really do much justice to the changes that were happening to my body. So if you look at the side-by-side of progress photos, you don't even see any change really until after 90 days. So that is something that I think is really important for people to know when they're competing, is that it's not going to be like, okay, you've got a coach, you picked a show, you're on a plan, you go to the gym for a week, and you magically look like you're getting ready for a competition. No, it takes time, and you have to trust the process. The second show that I chose to do was right after my first show. No, not really right after. It was 10 weeks after. When you do shows back to back, you either want it to be like you're going right from the last one into the next one, like within a couple of weeks, or you want to actually give yourself like an off season and then do prep all over again. So at least like 6 months to a year to your next show. So either, right after or like way after. This was neither of those things, and I felt it hard. Like, this was when I first cried on the treadmill. This was when I was like, fuck this. I just wanted to be over. I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Because I've already gotten so lean, right? And like I said, I was up to 2 hours of cardio a day, so she didn't want to bring me any higher than that because she didn't want me to burn out. So we kept me at 2 hours of cardio a day, plus like an hour and a half of lifting for the whole 10 weeks. Oh my God, I was just like, ugh. Same thing with my diet too. I was already at 1,300 calories. You can't reduce much from there if you want to maintain your muscle mass. Anyway, this hair is going up for sure. That's better. Yes. I'm gonna get some coffee too.
I run this shit like cardio. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand.
So my third and last competition was by far the hardest thing that I have ever put myself through. I gave myself 17 weeks. I aimed for 20 weeks, but it just didn't happen that way. So anyway, I did a 17-week prep. I had no coach because, I've done 2 competitions. I know everything now, right? And I'm a personal trainer now, and I'm a nutritionist, and Anyway, we'll get back to that later. But I gave myself 17 weeks. I had about the same amount of weight to lose. I think I started at 157 and I had to get down to 129 because that was my former stage weight, so or less. So yeah, I had quite a ways to go. This was tough. The main thing that was tough about it was that I wasn't just going to work in an office and working out now. I had moved to Maui, and so my whole lifestyle had changed compared to the other preps. I was much more active during the day because I was a personal trainer. I was training up to 9 hours a day with clients, and then I had to train myself, and then I had to do all my cardio. So roughly 12 hours a day being on my feet, and then running around in between them because I was training my clients at 3 different gyms. So every time I had a break, it was just long enough to get a meal in while I'm driving to the next client. It was tough. It was really, really tough, and that went on for the whole prep. And I had no coach. And really the biggest reason that I needed a coach for this one was just somebody to tell me you can slow down a little bit and you're gonna make it to the stage, because I was freaking out. I wanted to quit so many times. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. Even though I was making progress pretty consistently, I still felt like it wasn't enough. That one was really difficult. And at the end, I was up to not just 2 hours of cardio a day and an hour and a half of lifting a day and a very active lifestyle, but I was also down to about 1,000 calories and not even eating all of them. And that wasn't on purpose. That was just because it got to the point where food just, ugh. I mean, the last week, for peak week, I ended up blending my fish with broccoli and apple cider vinegar because I couldn't get myself to actually eat it. So I was like, maybe if I could drink it. It was terrible. It was terrible. I actually got a few bites down just because I knew that I needed it. It was like a life or death situation. So after that competition, I didn't get first call-outs. That was super disappointing because there were only 7 girls in my class. The thing that you have to remember with competing is that they don't know everything that you've gone through. They don't know that you've lost a ton of weight in 4 months. They don't know that you haven't had carbs in a month. They don't know, nor do they care about any of those things, because that's not what this sport is about. This sport is about bringing a package to the stage, you know. So essentially they are just seeing the lineup, you know. In NPC you don't get to talk, you know. They don't, the only way that you can get your personality across is by your posing and your hair and makeup, kinda. You don't want it to be crazy, and your suit choice, color, style, and really that's it. You know, and your smile, facial expressions, but you can't talk. That was hard for me. I looked at the photos and took some time and realized that, one, I looked better than my last 2 shows. I did this all by myself. I went to great lengths to do it. I accomplished the goal that I set out to do, which was get myself on stage and look better than my last show. Anyway, coming out of that show, because of all of the struggles that I went through during peak week, not being able to eat enough, and then I had to fly for the show, so I ended up taking extra diuretics because elevation makes you retain water. I ended up getting really, really sick, and it was to the point where I was feverish. I had, my stomach was inflamed so much that I looked like I was 8 months pregnant just from eating little things, you know. I wasn't really scarfing in order to get this like protruding belly. It was rough, and once I got home, because that was like the day that we were flying home. I was lying on the floor in the airport because I couldn't walk. Once we got home, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, it could be a number of things. They checked my white blood cell count. It was high. They said it was definitely due to the competition because you reduce your sodium intake like little to nothing, and you dehydrate your body. I didn't have edema though, which is what I originally thought it was. Edema is when you dehydrate your body so much that your ankles and your feet swell up. That wasn't happening to me. It was just my stomach, which was really crazy. But anyway, the doctor put me on bed rest for like 5 days and said just liquid diet, just pound the Pedialyte. I did that, and slowly got back into the gym afterwards, and I felt back to normal again. But my mindset was still pretty jacked up. So at this point, my mindset was, if I'm not stage weight, I'm overweight, and that is the wrong way to think about this. Your stage weight is your leanest, your most dehydrated that you can ever get. I wanted so badly to not be on a prep diet anymore and to not be prepping anymore that I just kind of stopped tracking everything. I didn't reverse diet. I was like, fuck this. I ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Yes, I was still going to the gym and I was still doing cardio, but I wasn't doing as much cardio. I didn't taper off. I did literally everything wrong, and I knew it too, but I didn't care because it was just such a long time and so hard for me that I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up gaining, I think, all of my weight back in a matter of a couple of months. Pretty sure by December I was back up to the high 150s, maybe even into the 160s. Yeah, that's working out and doing cardio. That's how important it is to reverse diet and taper off the cardio after a show, because you can gain weight super fast. And that's when I really started feeling that I wasn't like feeling like myself, like personality wise and energy wise and hormonal, all of that. So I need to wrap up this video. I have literally been trying to film and edit this video for weeks now. Like, all of everything that you have watched up until this point, I actually filmed like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just happened to be wearing the same sports bra today. So before I run home to complete the dang edit on this video, I figured I need to complete my actual thought process first. This was basically just to kind of give you my background and my experience with competing. So I hope that this information was helpful to you, and if you would like to have a little bit of input as to what I put in the next video, then please leave me a comment. And otherwise, I am probably going to make that video about the steps during the actual competition. Like I said, I need to just wrap this up. So sorry if this video was super long, or if you are doing your cardio during this video, then you're welcome, because I know how that is. You're trying to find a long video when you're on the treadmill and you're like, what is up with all these 3-minute videos? I have 30 minutes of cardio, I need a 30-minute video. Come on now. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you if you are subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
I need the dollars, so just beat it up like pinata.